Just how viable is it to spam infinite sentries in a chimps game? Well, today we will find the answer to that on this BMC handcuffs map. Yes, it is a custom map. It's been a while since I've done one of these, and I'm not sure why I stopped, but I realized that custom maps are a nice breath of fresh air. Even though this map is technically not even, like, a new map in the Bloons universe again. BMC is the original Bloons Monkey City, which was a Bloons game that personally I had a lot of fun with back in the days, where you expand your Monkey City by beating a bunch of tiles and needing to beat a bunch of maps, including this one over here. This one I remember was quite brutal. Before I drop anything down, let me just show you how it goes. So it's a single lane map where there are two tunnels here. It's basically two lanes actually, and then they come on this side, and then they exit out there. That's pretty much it. So the challenge here is simply, can I beat Chimps mode on this map with a Sentry spam strategy? That is 3-2-0 is what I'm thinking of. 3-2-0s with a lot of buffs. We don't want the Sentry Expert because those will not be the same type of sentries. I want those green basic sentries, the basic ass sentries, and it doesn't beat round 6, so let me find a better placement. Alright, I think we found the god spot here, right? Yep, has enough range here to snipe green balloons going through. And thanks to the cheaper cost of engineers as well, I can do two base sentries to get through the early game. Now, there's no other existing map in the game that is comparable to handcuffs here, but if I had to give like a difficulty rating, I would say intermediate. Like, it can't be any harder than that because it's a single lane map. And not just single lane, it's actually pretty long, but there is an issue, of course, of, I guess, regrows, I don't know, or just, like, simply not good bends for towers. That being said, I feel like global range towers would cheese this map pretty easily, so it might turn into, like, a beginner map, but that's kind of funny to think about because, hang on, let me first drop Gwendolyn down somewhere over here first, but it's funny to think about because, as I said at the start, this, I remember, was a pretty brutal Bloons Monkey City map. But the more I think about it, the map was only brutal in Bloons Monkey City because of the nature of the game itself. Just a quick TLDR, I guess. You have a limited amount of monkeys to work with, basically whatever amount you built in your city. So I guess relative to other Bloons Monkey City maps, this one was one of the harder ones, and definitely really hard if you have very limited upgrades to go around. Let's start a Sentry gang, shall we, in the meantime? I'd say for the purposes of this challenge, since we're not doing global range towers and only doing engineers, this is probably, yeah, this definitely fits the bill as an intermediate map. Let me just, yeah, if I can get a discount village around 22, that's how you know it's no harder than that. Gonna try, of course, for 2 villages. Granted, not gonna lie, I have no idea how much I'm really gonna save with double discount, because, like, engineers are hella dirt cheap. Even though we're getting only tier 3s, probably just get one more sprockets to help out here. Sprockets is huge upgrade, by the way. It basically doubles the attack speed of the main Sentry and the Sentry guns themselves. Very worth the money. Also, in terms of cross-pathing, technically 302 is better early game, but for late game, you want middle, because 1, range, and 2, deconstruction gives mob damage and fortify damage too, as opposed to bottom path, which I believe doesn't... Actually, it buffs the sentries, but only, like, by 1 pierce. So if you think about it, would you rather have 1 pierce, or would you rather have 1 mob damage and 1 fortify damage, which could be up to 2 damage? I think the answer is pretty simple. Also, crap, I shouldn't have dropped that village. You know why? Because I don't have, like, the money to get 022. I should have, like, because now I have to drop this factory if I wanted to, I guess, stay alive this round without having to restart all over. Actually, wait a minute, I can do the following. So I have this mod here that you've probably seen many times before, but on the bottom, time machine. Basically, I can go back in time to a round where I didn't make a mistake, and then simply continue from there. So what I'm gonna do, simply do this. And nice, that's an extra $1,000 we can do to buffing, we can put into buffing sentries instead of getting a spike factory in the back. And there it is, double discount, and we are now well on our way. Let's get a second sprockets up as soon as possible. Just like a lot of other early game towers in this game, sprockets is not a bad upgrade. It's pretty solid at, like, defending the early game rounds, as you see 20 to 30s, but just the main problem is that you never want to stop at sprockets. If you're going for one of these, you're probably going to get your way into a Sentry Champion, which you only get one of because it's tier 5. I don't think anybody in their right mind would really stop at a 4-2-0 either. But I guess on the same vein, you could argue that other stuff, like Jungle the Druid or Dragon's Breath is mostly a stepping stone, but I guess the difference is those are literally the best possible stepping or like early game options, as opposed to this one, which is okay. And yeah, I'd leave it at okay at best. Anyways, let's cocktail and beat round 40 easily, without even need to get deconstruction. I'll get them now though, just so I don't forget. Now the question is, how many sprockets do I want to get? And my answer is probably as many that fits under a double discount range, or maybe just single discount. I don't know, but for now I'll try to find any real estate, like if there's double discount, to put the sentries under range of here. Also, Gwendolyn, good combo with sprockets or engineers in general, because as you see, when heat up is active, it also applies to all of the mini sentries. Even if it's not in range of Gwendolyn, as long as it's in range of the engineer itself, it'll get the buff. So speaking of which, maybe I should use single discounts then on, like, ones in range of Gwendolyn, even though they're not in range of the Camel Village. I don't expect DTs to be an issue, after all. The biggest issue, of course, is the, just grouped rounds, because you're probably wondering, how the hell is this going to be 98 or 96? And the answer is pretty obvious, just lots and lots of buffs. I'd probably say a dozen of these is good, and then I'll stop. That is currently 8, 11, we need one more. I guess it'll be over here, 12. Now I'll bow down to the dumbest strategy of all time. I think since all of these sentries do 1 damage, I know it's like 2 against Moabs, but overall, since it's a very low amount of damage, you definitely want to give the plus damage givers, aka Glue Storm, probably Embrittlement even. But the most important thing with engineers is absolutely to go for Call to Arms. That's what I'm just going to buy mid right now. Because remember, engineers are one of the few towers that benefit doubly from the buffs, because the attack speed affects the rate of the sentries and the spawn rate, so that's a 1.5 times 1.5, meaning Call to Arms is 2.25 times stronger to your monkeys while it's active. And I wouldn't dare to only stop at Call to Arms. We gotta go for Homeland. I think that's, like, necessary given how weak these things are. So I guess now will be the save up to this tier 4, and then at some point, I'll try to save for Homeland. Maybe now even, like, straight up no other buffs given. Let me just first see if Gwen Cocktail is enough for this round, or nah. It's a bit much. This is bad, because I need to save Gwen 10 for, like, wave 2. Well, again, I did say I wanted Embrittlement earlier, so how about we get number 13 and an Embrittlement here? Because this Ice Shard will kind of act as doing a good amount of damage. Assuming it didn't just whiff everything. No, it did 1.7k damage. That's huge. Let's even get away with not Cocktail this round, or do I need it? Let's see. Nope, I need it. Or did I? There was a chance I may not have, but anyway. We got Cocktail up again, so there we go. That's how we beat this round. You might think this spot is god-awful for Embrittlement, but don't worry. It's not going to be for damage late game, it's going to be for the +1, so this spot will still hit Moabs on the top side here. Call to Arms as well, and if I want to try to save for this right now, probably mid to late 80s is when I can afford it. Kind of bold, because again, I have no other support aside from this guy. Nothing to slow the Bloons down for the meantime. We just gotta beat it down with raw damage, it seems. This round is pretty dense, but no need for anything, right? We got Call to Arms now too if I need to use it, but yeah, ideally we'd want to hold it. The interesting thing too with Call to Arms and Sentries is that you don't get like the 2.25s boost immediately, because remember, it takes time to spawn the Sentries at the increased rate, so you actually peak in DPS at the very tail end of the Call to Arms ability, at least I presume. And that, of course, does matter for certain cases. Also, oh, okay. The tunnel actually cucks us here, because I popped all the Moabs, but the Bloons were under the tunnel, so the level 10 ability didn't affect it. Anyway, I guess I can use this time to showcase the CTA, so that's going to easily beat 80. And this is where we have peak damage, right before it times out, and we had, you know, a lot of Sentry spawns. Now we just gotta hold against the next Call to Arms ability. I guess it's nice that this map is actually pretty long, at least in terms of the entrance. So we can absolutely use Call to Arms to end a round off, and then there's no issues about not having it up by the time we need it for, say, around like here. See? It's back up pretty much again. Also, can I just say right now that Fortified Cerams look almost absolutely terrible right now in terms of, like, damaging them. We gotta use the CTA every single round here. And that's where a glue will probably be handy. I'm thinking somewhere back here. I'm only 2k off, though. Come on. Just gotta hold the line. It'd be nice, too, if I could, like, buy it and then use Homeland instead of doing it the other way around. Let's use this, then, to Guarantee we get this. Come on, there we go. And let's blast off. Homeland activate, because this is now 100% attack speed and, well, attack speed. So yes, 4x power on the sentries, which is why you see the absolute craziness that is this. Also, perhaps I should keep this in mind next time, but when I put sentries in the middle here, it blocks placements for my sentries, because you see, they're all spawning like on the outskirts. Is that an issue at all? I guess not really, because I guess this spot's still fine, this spot's still fine also, but you know, obviously the most prime real estate is right smack dab in the middle here. Anyway, you want to see me do it again? Well, say goodbye to 87. And let's also get our glue strike now too in range of the village. Good spot for it. There's also, there's no village buff under here, but I might as well use this spot for maybe one more sentry. Let's actually leave a little bit of a gap, like to the left of it, just so like some sentries can fit in between, in case that ought to help. And sure, how about here as well? It's not really eating up too good of real estate, but I believe that is now 15. Give it up for 15 sentries, ladies and gents. Don't think we need a homeland for this part here. Yeah, hopefully not. At this point, I'm not gonna lie, so should we just say screw stalls? Because I feel like we have enough DPS that who cares if we're not stalling the balloons. Let's do a max combo here. Glue strike for the +2, and homeland, so that these things shred these Yumaji's immediately. Yep, we were able to kill all of 94, like, with the homeland uptime. Pretty awesome stuff. We'll have Glue Storm 2 for an almost permanent. +2 on the field. And let's have it go to town against these full speed DT. Should last the whole way, right? Wait, do I even need Glue Storm here? No, I don't. Once again, homeland does it. And once again, it's not Gwendolyn alone that's main carrying. Her pops here are only barely more than the sentries neighboring it at, like, 130k versus 180. Although I guess since she's level 20, she is going to do, like, she might out-DPS them a bit more here. And also, the more I think about it, I really think I overestimated the difficulty of this map. It shouldn't be this good for sentries, because of, like, the awkwardness of the shape, but we're having an easy time here. Do not even worry about the BAD damage either. I'd also like to try to beat this round without using Homeland. And that heat up was clutch, because that avoided, like, needing Homeland. +1 fortify from deconstruction is going to be really nice here. When should we blast off? Let's set a couple to strong. And I'd say now, let's go. I could use Gwen 10 as well, but no, I think I'll hold it for emergency. Like, it might be more important for round 99 instead. Back and first for this guy, but look. We still got, like, 5-10 seconds left of Homeland. But there is barely anything left. Oh, no, I lied. I got way too cocky there. Fine, I think I'll show some patience. Basically, wait a little bit longer, like, let's say now. And so maybe Homeland will time out with only a couple of Moabs, not like, a long line that. Wait, holy crap. Wow, we got overwhelmed with Homeland active, that's crazy. It's not every day you see that, so I guess on that note, we should spend our 14k. Maybe just another +1 damage up here is good. And, like, one more for 16 sentries. Even though this one's not in range of Gwendolyn. Again, we're only missing a little bit of damage. This time I'll do an activation in between, because I might have used it too late there, and not spawned enough sentries. This might be good timing. Fine, I'll use Gwen 10. This is probably a stupid idea. I don't have round 99 defense if I survive this. I only have Glue Storm, but is that gonna be enough? With no slowdown on the FTTs? This is gonna suck ass. Come on, though. I think Glue Strike is gonna be handy here. Nice. It is enough. And now, I don't think we should have any issue against round 100 with all these mini sentries. So we want to do all our damage in the first lane here. Therefore, blast off now combo for +2 at the same time. And if you can combo with another heat up here, that should be easy game, yeah. Absolutely melted that BAD. Not even close. GG. Once again, that should prove that anything is viable if you put enough heart and soul into it. And also, pick a map that's not overly difficult, like this one here. If you enjoyed this one, maybe you fancy this video as well, where I did another very weird chimps run. Otherwise, catch you all next time.